Welcome to the Soul Grit podcast. I'm Taylor McNiece, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I also love Jesus, and I'm passionate about all things gospel and therapy. I created Soul Grit to be at the intersection of mental health and Christian faith. Christ followers need a place to ask questions and get answers about mental health. Join me as we dive into real stories and real questions from people who want to honor God with their hearts, souls, and minds. Hi, welcome back to the Soul Grit podcast. This is Anne. Today we have a slightly different episode for you because some things have happened around here. I'll get into that in just a minute, but I just wanted you to be aware that you may be receiving this episode at a different time, and that may be the case for the next few weeks. So thanks for hanging with me, and we will continue to try to bring you good, consistent content, despite some challenging things that have happened. Now, Jess today just texted me and said that she has the flu, so she has no voice. And for myself, I had a medical emergency last week during the Thanksgiving week that I wanted to come on and tell you about. You can probably hear from my voice, I'm okay. My thinking process is still intact. My speech is okay, but I did have a stroke on Monday, the 21st of November. Let me give you a little bit of background there. A few weeks ago, I started experiencing pain in my neck, and the pain came on really suddenly. I was in the middle of a fitness class that I was teaching, and I wasn't doing anything weird, no strange, strenuous neck exercises, but at that time, I felt a sudden pain shoot up on the right side of my neck into my skull. And I kept working through it, pushing through, continued to teach the class, but then took a lot of ibuprofen over the next week or so. I visited urgent care, I visited acupuncture, was not getting any relief, and so about 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks after the pain started, I visited my chiropractor, who I've been seeing for a couple of years consistently. And during my chiropractic adjustment, I started having severe vertigo, where it felt like I was on the upside down part of a roller coaster and could not get off. And the vertigo led to vomiting, and I read up on vertigo, and I knew that sometimes it passes just in a couple of hours or so. So I tried to sleep it off and thought maybe when I wake up, it'll be better. We were actually planning to drive to Arizona and visit the Grand Canyon for our Thanksgiving break, and so I really wanted to still be able to do that trip. But when I woke up on Tuesday morning and I was still violently vomiting and spinning, we decided to call an ambulance, and I was taken to our local emergency room where they did a CT scan and MRI and discovered that I had had a right vertebral artery dissection. And what that means is there's a little tear on the inside of the artery that goes up through my vertebrae from my neck to my head, C1 and C2. Then what that caused was a minor stroke in my cerebellum, and your cerebellum is what controls your balance. So when that part of my brain was not getting the oxygen that it needed, it made me feel like I was on a roller coaster. So I was admitted to the hospital and transferred to a different hospital that has a better neurology department, and had several more scans, and they determined that I was able to be released on Thanksgiving Day. So I got to come home in time to take a shower and get to Thanksgiving dinner at my mom's house, which I ate on the couch. And since then, I have pretty much just been on the couch. The doctor told me to treat it like it's the flu, meaning stay on the couch and don't do anything, because we are just waiting for this artery to heal itself. There's no surgical intervention that they could do. I have to take blood thinners and just try not to re-injure the artery and hopefully not ever have another stroke again. So that's the kind of short version of everything that happened to me last week. And what that means for me now is that I'm not able to see my clients for a while. I'm not able to drive, but I am able to do basic things, caring for myself, walking to the bathroom, grabbing myself a cup of coffee, things like that. But I have to be really careful because my balance may be impacted. So far, I haven't fallen down or anything like that, but keeping somebody near me all the time. I have a great family and system of friends that are coming by to help and basically babysit me so I won't be by myself on the couch. That's what happened last week. I wanted to let you guys know about that because it actually really fits in with the series that Jess and I had started the previous week about our bodies. And the approach that Jess and I were talking about, or maybe just our thought process, was more about how we feel about our bodies in terms of, oh, is the shape right? Is the size right? Things like that. And what we hadn't really gotten into was the fallenness of our bodies when it comes to medical problems or health problems, such as what we're experiencing now. We had mentioned that Jess did just have a major surgery, and now she's out with the flu. I just had this medical emergency, and it's just really bringing into light that our bodies are so fragile. And for as much as we try to do and we are capable of doing, that life can change in such a short moment. All the plans that I had for December, and I'm sure you have lots of plans for your December as well, whether you have kids or you're busy at work and parties and celebrations and travel and all of that. Those things can be taken away in an instant. So I thought it might be useful for us to reflect a little bit on just the fallen nature of our bodies. And when I say fallen, I'm not really drawing attention to the fact that we are sinful, but to the fact that we were born into sin, and because of that, our bodies break down and they don't last forever, and we suffer. I'm going to continue to reflect on that and to think through what that means in a mental health perspective, in a spiritual perspective, and just for my own self. I'm pretty transparent, so I'd like to be able to share my thoughts here with you. If you've come to know me over the last year and a half or so that I've been podcasting, I think maybe you would like to hear my thoughts on this. For right now, I'm going to sign off because this is the most productive thing that I've done in a week, and I will continue to post some content that we'd already been working on, as well as more thoughts as this recovery process goes on. So thank you for being here. I know there may be some of you that ask. We do have all of our needs met right now in terms of meals and rides for the kids and all the things. So what I would ask for right now is just continued prayers that my artery heals, that there are no more strokes or any long-term damage, and that those that are helping to care for me, including my parents and my husband and my friends, are able to be encouraged and strengthened in this time, because caretaking is not easy. I'm going to sign off with that, and as always, you can email me at info@soulgritresources.com if you have a question or if there's something you'd like to hear about on the podcast. And I look forward to chatting more with you in the future. The The Soul Grit podcast is a production of Soul Grit Resources. You can find more at soulgritresources.com or on the socials at Soul Grit Resources. You can email me at info@soulgritresources.com.